My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey gang, welcome back. Today our special guest is Carlos Pineda, zooming in from Louisiana. And Carlos is definitely a real estate entrepreneur. He's a real estate investor. He does fix and flips and wholesale deals, but he does much, much more. He's a very tech-focused person. So he's created multiple different tech platforms to help real estate investors out, training platforms. And I really look forward to our conversation today. So Carlos, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Hey man, appreciate you. Appreciate it having me here. And yeah, so I may not look like it, but I'm just a huge nerd. I'm all about data, systems, processes, and that's kind of one of the things that I've been just focusing. I've seen that the industry kind of lacks a little bit. You know what I mean? Everybody's and which I'm fine with it, but everybody's like, hey, let's get to the hustle, sales, training, let's close some deals.
Yeah.
But I've kind of felt like there's only a handful of people that actually treat it as a business. Everybody's getting their licenses, everybody's getting into wholesaling, and it just kind of seems like there's a lot of fly by night people lately. So one of my, I'm not gonna say life goal, but one of my goals is to help people, actually make a living off of this and just treat it as a business, which is what I really specialize in.
Okay, so let's back up a step or two, Carlos. So when did you kind of have this epiphany, especially in the fix and flip and the wholesale world, that it's kind of the Wild West still? When did you kind of come to that realization?
Okay, so just to kind of give you some context, I started wholesaling back in 2019. So, was doing some wholesaling. Then, the pandemic came.
Yeah.
And funny enough, it was a tough time. But right after that, I don't know if you remember, in 2021, it got crazy. Everybody was, just selling properties like crazy. You would see properties being sold, 20K above asking price. It was just crazy. So like everybody else, I got into that wave. Everybody was making money. Everybody, it was all good, right? It was great. And then, as you probably remember, and everybody here listen probably remembers, then in 2022 we
Yeah.
had interest rate that spiked up, and it just kind of washed out a lot of the new wholesalers coming in. And one of the things that, I kind of had a big operation at that time. I mean, big, I was in certain states. I had a bunch of VAs, virtual
Yeah.
assistants that I hired. I had an entire team, acquisitions, dispositions, the whole nine yards. And, once it kind of got hard, there was a lot of uncertainty, interest rates spiking up. So, no more people buying flips, rentals, whatever. I figured, okay, a couple things. First, you can't just do wholesaling. You need to have multiple exit strategies. And I only had one. I was
Okay.
really amazing at doing wholesaling, but that was my only exit strategy. I wasn't really doing nothing. And the second thing that I saw was like, same as me, a lot of people, they got rid of their VAs. I seen a lot of people doing heavy marketing on Google Ads, PPL, all those shiny new stuff. And the last thing that everybody got rid of was their data. Like me personally, I had a fire, a lot of people in my team, and kind of just downsized a lot. But the last thing that I was gonna, give up was my CRM, my data.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, hey, where are my leads, right? The system, the software where my leads were at. So that's when I figured it was like, okay, you know what? That's where I need to get in.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
need to build a CRM because that's the last thing that everybody was getting rid of. So I was like, huh, how
So
can
now, this is what everybody needs. This is the last thing that I'm getting rid of.
right?
So let me build a better mousetrap is kind of the expression we might use about that. Let's create a better CRM for wholesalers and flippers. Is that kind of what came to mind?
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like not only a CRM, and this is gonna sound cliche, but made by investors for investors. The whole
Yeah. Yeah.
sales tactics, but also like something that not only people are gonna need, but also something that now it's in the tech space. So yes, they're vertically integrated, but now it's in the tech space. Because I also figure out something. When you're doing sales, as you know, and everybody here in real estate knows, it's eat what you kill, right?
Mhm.
So what happens when there's a shortage of food? Then I realize, hey, with this, not only I'm going to have something that's recession proof because everybody still needs their data, but I'm also getting that recurring money every month coming
That
in.
monthly recurring revenue. Exactly.
Right. That can
Yeah.
kind of help, keep the lights on.
Cash flow. Real estate, cash flow. Yeah. Except,
Yeah.
yeah, it flips it in wholesale. There's no cash flow
Right.
unless you're eating
And the
what you
way
kill
I
kind of
thought
thing.
about it was, well, you know what? Let's say you get at least in the market where I was in Louisiana, let's say you get a rental, after PITI and everything, if you cash flow $500-600, that's decent. Of course, you
That's
got
very
that
good.
equity, but so I figured, well, how about if I can sell it for about $500, and then I can just replicate it unlimited. So it's kind of like having a building with unlimited floors, and I can just create more and more and more. And not only that, at that point, remember it was post COVID, right?
Yeah.
2022. So I also figured in my mind, tech companies, the valuation of tech companies is 20, 30 times EBITDA versus, real estate, which is kind of like 2 or 3 times EBITDA, if any. And you have to have like your systems and everything down pat. So I was like, it's even going to be easier or help my valuation if I get a company that's in the tech space. So that's kind of also where my mind was going.
So what did you create with this CRM that was better than what was available at that time? Or what makes your CRM better than the
Well,
multitude of other ones that are out there?
one of the things that I'm going to say is that I also got lucky because when I started doing that, I jumped on that AI trend. So
Ah,
actually, that's one of our main selling points, the fact that we have AIs closing deals, qualifying leads, and but basically what I would say makes it better is that we're trying to go for that all-in-one situation. So say for example, and now I'm kind of diversifying a little bit. We just opened up a new segment for contractors.
oh, okay.
So yeah, so I'm kind of just trying to keep everything vertically integrated within the same industries. But yeah, I would definitely say you can manage your entire business in there. It's not going to cost you an arm and leg, and you just have a lot of automation. So I also figured out, and you kind of see, that was the thing. I always said I'm the perfect beta tester because I'm also using my business in it, right? So
Yeah.
things that I
So you build it for yourself basically, and then yeah, sell it
right.
to other folks doing the same thing.
Right. So I was like, man, what I'm struggling with, what was my team struggling with? Probably just, following up automation. So that's kind of, using AI and this whole new wave that was coming in. One of the
Mhm.
things that we built on, hey, just pretty much automating everything that can be automated. And that way, you know, humans can actually work on being humans and
Mhm.
interact with humans in every little thing, automated, automated, automated. And it's pretty systems and process oriented. It's all about keeping your, business and treat it as a business.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So are you still active in the flipping and wholesaling business yourself as well?
100%.
Yeah. Have
100%.
things
Actually,
picked
my
up for you?
team. Oh, yeah. So right now, as you may have seen, flipping is kind of, taking a little bit of a downturn. But
Hmm.
what we've been doing a lot, and actually my team just signed 2 agreements today, 2 PAs. We've been doing a lot of creative deals. So
Okay.
yeah, so because what's going on right now, and not getting into any politics or anything, but cost of construction is going up because of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So again, you just got to pivot. So we've been kind of buying a few more rentals. But on the flipping side, what we've been trying to do is just getting creatively. Hey, maybe let me do a sub two owner finance, and then that way, even if I just have to cuff up the cash myself, or maybe I can probably get a private investor, just put in only the repair budget. That way, if you tell a hard money lender, hey, I'm only going to need a repair budget, not the purchase price, they're kind of more open to that because right now their money is not as much and it's still backed by the entire house.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so instead of let's just say you got a house, ARV is 300,000, purchase price is 100,000, and rehab is 60,000. Instead
Mhm.
of coughing up 160, they only got to do 60,000.
And you still got a first position
Right, and
on
it's
the
still got
property.
first position unless it's a sub two. This really works more. I don't really want to do it on sub twos because
Yeah.
it's more like owner finance because on sub twos, you know that most. uh loans right now that got that do on sell clause. So I mean, I mess with sub twos really when it's more like rentals or that kind of stuff. But when it's for flips, I try to look them free and clear and just do straight up owner financing, and then probably either cash them out when we sell or just do a balloon.
Very cool. So, Carlos, what exciting plans? You seem like a serial entrepreneur kind of guy. So, what exciting plans do you have for the rest of 2025 and going into the next year?
Well, what I'm trying to do for 2025 is build a business portfolio that's around real estate. So, when we first started talking, you said, hey, there's a lot of different links that, a lot of different stuff that we're doing. So we mainly have four companies.
Okay.
What we're doing is all four companies are vertically integrated. So we do real estate, wholesaling, getting some rentals, flips. So we're trying to do multiple different exit strategies, lesson learned. Uh,
Hmm.
After that, we also have Taskify, which is the CRM, and which, the only niches that I cater are real estate and construction. We also have a mentorship and academy in which we teach people about real estate. And we also have a construction company. So
Mm.
last year, we had about 4 or 5 flips going on at the same time. And usually, our procedures tell us, hey, our internal SOPs, try to get at least 3 or 4 quotes. So me and my partner were kind of thinking, hey, for example, everybody's charging $10,000 to paint the inside of the house. And that's just market value, and we'll reaccount that into our numbers. So that's fine. We're willing to pay that. But how about and they're making money with as they should be. We got all the subs, we got all the people. We've been doing flips for a little minute. We know what we're doing. How about we just do a construction company? So we
Mm.
started a construction company, and our thinking was, we will reaccount it for that into our flips. Now we're gonna create a company, and right off the bat, as soon as we create a company, it already has 4 clients. So not every time that you create a company, you already have 4 clients or 4 projects. And
Hmm.
the best thing about it was, again, we're gonna be the beta testers because one thing is building it, building ourselves, managing ourselves, but that way we can kind of see, hey, how it works when we have clients and how our clients are gonna feel. So we kind of just started doing that, and then the construction company is building all of the SOPs around it, and the first, 4 projects were actually ours. But we did, separate companies, separate entities, everything is separate.
And it sounds like you're kind of charging yourself market rates
Yes,
to
and
keep
we
that
are.
new company profitable,
We
right?
have already
Yeah.
accounted for that in the
Yeah.
flip.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we're making money, and they're all part of a big holding company. Why is that? Because again, these are, I'm not gonna call it sister companies, or vertically integrated businesses, and they're all, held by the same holding company. That way, whenever we're trying to look for some valuation, the valuation goes up. So because now, let's say, for example, when you're doing, just put a number, $1 million a year, a quick valuation might be 2 times, 1 or 2 times, gross revenue. Once you're doing five, for example, now we might be looking at 3, 4. So instead
Mm.
of, let's just say, for example, each company is doing 1 million at a 2 times valuation, that's 8 million. Now let's say, again, each company is doing 1 million, but now it's 4 million, and I try to
Yeah.
value the holding. Now I can
Yeah.
value it at 4. So 8 times 4, that's, uh,
Especially if one ends up doing way better than some of the other ones, it kind of
yes.
raises all the ships.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that way you can, you get it, instead of getting it valued at 8 million, now you get it valued at 16 million. Because really what we're trying, especially, having one that's in the tech space, we're really looking for valuations and just, trying to work towards that. So my goal is kind of consolidate all the companies into that group. We also just started, we got our commercial license this year, and we just did a few government jobs as well. Nothing too crazy, nothing too big.
Or in the construction side of things, is that what you're
Yes,
talking
from
about? Okay.
Louisiana
Yeah.
State University, we just did
Yeah.
some. So we're trying to kind of grow all companies, move into commercial spaces as well. With Taskify, we're also trying to look for more commercial people, and we're still gonna be doing residential in the real estate company, but we're also looking for commercial. I think right now, with everything going on, commercial is where it's at
Hmm.
instead of just residential dealing with people. Because right now, I
Yeah. Things are a little shaky, right? Yeah.
I don't want to jinx it, but I feel a little recession coming on, so I want to focus on, stuff that's recession proof, kind of like big companies, government contracts, which they already got a budget that they got to spend, yes or yes. So
Yeah.
that's where I want to be at.
Well, one good thing about recessions, Carlos, is it creates a lot of motivated sellers.
Oh yes, a lot of
Yeah.
opportunities.
So that could be a good thing for your real estate business, the flips for definitely for the wholesales. Could be another great thing. Get a new wave of wholesalers coming in. That could be very good for that part of your tech business. So yeah, and
Hey,
it's
and right now I got an unlimited amount of leads because one of the things that we offer in Taskify is we have a little button that says sell your deal. I was thinking, hey, I got a bunch of agents and a bunch of wholesalers using it. Sell your deal. If you got a deal, I'm either going to buy it or I'm going to help you dispo it and try to find a buyer. And
nice.
trying to again piggyback off of everything. So what I'm ready for this recession. Way more prepared than I was for the previous one in 2022, which some people said it was a recession, some people said it wasn't. I know I felt that hit, but I'm definitely more ready now. Just more experience, more tools, more systems, and just being able to pivot with the company is something that's crucial because a lot
Well,
of
you know what? I don't know what your opinion about this is, Carlos, but we were talking a little bit before the interview started. You're originally from Nicaragua. I
yeah.
spent a lot of time in Central America, specifically in Costa Rica, and the economy there was very unstable compared to what we're used to in North America. That's my memory of things. I did business there for 10 years. Um, and between inflation and currency devaluation and then just stuff going on, it seemed like we're getting hit one way or the other on a very, very regular basis. That kind of helped me become a little bit more resilient coming back to North America, and you can kind of see things coming down the horizon a bit further. You might have left Nicaragua when you were quite young, but did you kind of recall those kind of situations when you were
Yeah.
growing up?
Yeah, 100%. I didn't leave that young, but yeah, I definitely recall that uncertainty.
Yeah.
There's definitely more stability in North America, and I think one of the big things as well is overall compliance of governments and
Oh,
regulations and everything when you're trying to
yeah,
build.
yeah. We complain a lot about our governments here, but compared to what some other countries have to deal with,
Oh yeah. And
it's
and one of the things
security,
I've
everything.
learned is, I don't get political. I just do business with whoever is in charge. Of
Yeah,
course, I'm trying to be as ethical as possible. Hey, we got this new administration. That's the way they're going to be running things for the next 4 years. Pivot.
yeah.
Hey, down the line, that happens. Pivot.
Pivot.
Build, tools that can help you withstand those changes. So I'm really not one, but going into that, that's why I like investing more in North America because at some point you still got more stability. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah, just rather than investing in Central America, which I do have plans eventually of maybe investing down in Central America. I'm just trying to find the perfect spot.
yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. All right, Carlos. Hey, this has been fun. If people want to connect with you, find out more about you and all the multitude of different things that you do and companies that you have, where's the best place for them to go?
They can go ahead and just look me up at carlospineda.net. There's a little bit of information about me, about my companies, what we do, and let's try to see if there's any way in which we can collaborate. Hit me up.
Awesome. Carlos, thanks for being on the show. It's been great meeting you.
Hey man, likewise.
All
Appreciate
right.
you.
All right, everybody. Take care. We'll see you on the next episode. Hey there. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.